United Fan TV, 8 straight undefeated, and we are first in the East. Feels really good to say that. Jessica, what did you think of the game?
I'm absolutely delighted. Like you say, 8 games straight is an incredible record, and we're just looking like something else this season. We started poorly, obviously, early on, but now look at us. And I think sometimes you need that shock early on in the season, and now I feel like we're really finding our rhythm.
Yeah.
Early on, it was a little concerning. I think we started slow. I think what caused that was Chicago was pressing very high. Yeah. When Chicago pressed, it left us kind of exposed. And we were trying to find Barco and Almiron, but that left us exposed to the back, which was problematic. But I think the second half, Tata sort of changed things up. He saw that there were flaws early on, and second half was so much better. We scored 2 goals fairly early on, and then we shut up shop. And that's the way you have to be sometimes, I think.
Especially on the road.
Exactly. On the road, if you score 2 goals, it's okay to sit on 2 goals. Right. I would say sometimes they say that 2 goals is the most dangerous score in soccer, because if you concede a goal, then the momentum's with the other team. But fortunately, we were okay. We managed to shut up, and they scored a goal, but we were okay. We shut up shop, and fortunately, they didn't score. So 2-1, we're happy. Obviously, New York took up a loss, and when you think about it, we've got a game in hand, and we're 2 points clear, so what a better position could we be in right now at this stage? And I think, right now we're at top, and the only thing that's going to stop us is our own mistakes. We've got that gap now, and it's on to us. If we win every game or we get a tie, it's in our hands, and I think that's a beautiful position to be in. If it's in our hands, then we're okay.
I think it was super refreshing to actually see the opposing team actually try to play.
Yeah.
So it was, it was a very back and forth game, and it actually made it more exciting than very much any of the games in the undefeated streak. Every
home game we've had has been very one-sided. At times they pressed, but it's always been all Atlanta United. So I think for us today, it was a relieving experience to see another team come at us. I think sometimes teams try and sit, park the bus, and then it works in their it works against them and it works in our favor. But today, it was good to see a competition, a strong side, and it's better to not have a one-sided game. I think for us, that competition is good and it prepares us better for future games, because there's going to be battles along the way in the season. And if we don't have those battles, what happens when, let's say in the playoffs, we get through to the playoffs and we have a strong side game. Look at Columbus. We didn't know how to fight against Columbus because we hadn't been used to those battles, and we need to get used to those battles. So today, Chicago gave us a battle, and that was important. Defensively, okay, everyone's kind of beat me up about getting on to Guzan, but look at the Escobar incident again. We've seen a little repeat thing. We obviously aren't on the field. We can't see the errors that he's making, but in my opinion as a goalkeeper, I think he's not calling early enough. I know that when I call late, it's going to lead to a collision with my defender. And there's got to be a reason why Escobar isn't ducking out. If Escobar trusts Guzan, he's going to duck as soon as he hears the call. But if Guzan isn't giving him long enough to react, there's got to be a reason. So I don't want to blame Guzan for Escobar's injury, but it's a repeat thing. And it was concerning to the Escobar because, as we know, a concussion isn't something to play with. A second concussion within,
timeout.
Within 2 calendar months, it's a long time. He came back in, 3-4 weeks? Maybe 4 weeks?
Yeah, about 4 weeks. Yeah.
So now that's going to double. So that's concerning for us, but we'll look at. Luckily, we know now from the previous time without Escobar that we have a good defensive line and we can look into changing it back, but it's a shame. And I think it's just something Guzan has to look at because it happened again. We saw him at the edge of the box late on in the game. We're 2-1 up at this point, and we can't be making nerve-wracking decisions like that. If you're on the edge of the box, you have to be 100% you're going to get it. My goalkeeper coach has always told me, you're not going for that ball unless you're 120% you're going to get it, because otherwise you're out of position. If he misses that ball, there's an open net behind him.
And we were scrambling.
And we were scrambling. So, and then Gaza, great guy, but I think for the goal, potentially his clearance needed to be up and over. You can't just play it short out the back.
Give us some time.
We're a pretty soccer team. Exactly. We've talked about it before. We're a beautiful soccer team. We like to play, but there's a right time to play and there's a right time to kick it long and clear it. And that was a time where he needed to boot the crap out of that ball, get it long, and it's a shame he didn't do it because I think that's why we conceded. We need to try and keep those shutouts because it's so rewarding for the morale and the solidness and goal difference. At the end of the day, we never know. If it comes to goal difference, yes, we're scoring a lot, but sometimes we're conceding and that could cost us. So I think that Guzan needs to do better there.
Well, no, especially, a win on the road. This is fantastic days, but also a fantastic day for you as you're graduating. Congratulations, and your friends and family.
Family with me.
Congratulations.
Thanks for all the love, and it's a pleasure. And what a better way to finish it with an Atl Utd win. Like we say, we're #1, 2 points clear, and a game in hand. We couldn't be in a better position. Let's make it #9 next week.